You will not sell. Listen, here's what I thought about. Reebok is like, well, I don't know if we should do that because, I don't think anybody's going to say anything about all our hypocrisy when it comes to black artists, and their negative images. I'll tell you what. You thought Reebok was freaked out about having to drop Rick Ross. Wait till athletes that wear Reebok send their shoes back and say, if you have a conscience about date rape, but not a conscience about young guys getting killed in the streets, I won't wear your stuff. Wait till halftime where a whole football team comes out at the 50-yard line and takes off their jersey and throws it down and says Reebok has high standards when it comes to date rape, but they got no standard with I got a chopper and I'll shoot you and leave you in a puddle. Wait till they realize that there are people here that speak up for all people, not just one group or one segment or an animal. Reebok cannot be let to get away with this. If they fire Rick Ross, they should hire Rick Ross back. They should say, we made a mistake. We paid this man for negative imagery, and then we turned our back on him when he didn't fit our brand. The truth is, we'll fine us. Here's $500,000, here's $500,000, here's $500,000, here's $500,000, and Rick has agreed to join us in confronting this mockery of women and stuff in race. Instead of cutting the puppet off, act like the puppet did wrong, you take responsibility, and you make a difference. Because there's an athlete somewhere whose brother was killed over some foolishness, and he's not going to understand why you got a high standard on date rape, but a low standard on kids being killed in the street. I don't understand it, and I'm telling you, they're not going to understand it. And wait till the Magic or the Heat or the Bulls all get in the locker room and say, yeah, man, we're not wearing these shoes because they don't have a standard over this or that. Wait till people start dropping you, Reebok. Wait till women take off their soccer shirts in the middle of the thing and say, I refuse to wear a company that will have a conscience about date rape but not a conscience about drug dealing. The whole country will turn on you unless you come out now and say right is right and wrong is wrong. Not right is wrong when we make money, wrong is right when we make money. Right's got to be right. If you've got values and if you've got a brand, do it now. Show us that you're not who it looks like you are. Show us that you didn't get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. Show us that you do have a conscience. You care about all people, not just the number of signatures. I wonder how long it took you before you realized we might have to make a cut. If that man hadn't messed up one line, you'd still be paying him today to sing the music that he sings. You have no conscience. You have a bottom line. Speak conscience and get yourself right. And I'm sorry, Nike, you're next. Sony, Universal, Warner Brothers, all of you, no more. We're not taking it anymore. Clear Channel Cox, we're not taking it anymore. You got to have if it was a dog, you'd have a conscience. If it was a homosexual, you'd have a conscience. If it was a Jewish person or a Christian person or a Muslim person, you'd have a conscience. If it's date rape, you have a conscience. But black kids killing black kids, you don't have a conscience because it's acceptable. It's not acceptable in this country anymore. And you don't have to wait to hear from Jesse Jackson. You're hearing from me right now. It's not acceptable in this country anymore. And you got to stop it. You got to stop doing it. Sharpton, you're afraid of Jesse Jackson. We don't want to upset those people. We don't want to. Let me tell you, you've upset me because I can see through your crap. And when I heard you fired Rick Ross, and when I heard Stacey were dropping him, I said, you've got to be kidding me. What hypocrisy. You played every song about killing, drug dealing, guns, hoes, suck my thing. You played every song and then grew a heart. It's hypocrisy. You played the game until it was going to cost you money. And we're not going to let you play it anymore. It's going to cost you money right now unless you make comprehensive reforms all the way across the board. Because I guarantee you, McDonald's won't stand for it. Panera won't stand for it. Subway won't stand for it. Ford does not want you associated with her. They will tell you, don't advertise if you're going to play this stuff. And the station will be put out of business. Don't fire Rick Ross. Don't say these artists are banned. Don't ban the puppets. Talk to them and say, we apologize for switching the rules. We told you we pay you for being nasty. Now we want to pay you for doing right. And then if you own a tour company, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to let you use my bus anymore if you're going to be talking about killing cocaine. I'm not going to let you use my venue and my microphones anymore if you're talking about clearing cocaine. It's time to stop collecting money off of stuff that America doesn't have a conscience of and then jumping all religious if somebody says something about this or that. Get pure all the way through. None of it is right. Get a conscience that affects everybody, not just the pressure groups in our country. I got to stop. If you're not saved, get saved. If you need to be saved, come on. If you need to rededicate your life, come on. If God's calling you to join the church, come on. Whatever it is you need, you come. Everybody else, turn and minister to those that are around you. Ask them, are they born again? Do you need to be born again? Check with them. Make sure they got what they need. And if they need your help in coming down, bring them on down. Anybody else? Come on. Overflow, come. Rainbow Cafe, come. iChurch, you can click on the tab. Come on, dear. Come on. Come on. If they need your help, coming down. Bring them on down. Bring them on down. Jesus is going to change lives right now. Jesus is going to change lives right now. Amen. Amen. If you're coming, come on. Yes, Mother.
Why don't you get the members to sign that letter that you put in also?
Yeah, she said, why don't we get the members to sign that letter? What we need to do is download. If you can't download, next week I'll have hard copies. Sign it and put me too. But let me tell you, phone calls, If you start calling every place, come on, dear. If you start calling every place, now look, let me say, in the letter, I've given Clear Channel till May 12th to change their policy. On May 13th, if I don't turn on and hear no more songs about alcohol, cocaine sales, no more songs about guns, no more. Not even bleeping out. I don't want you to get more crafty. Get right. And then, if you show up, if they haven't done it, I've already got the list of advertisers. I've already got their list of affiliates. I've already got the list of their personalities. You won't be able to be a personality on that broadcaster. You will not be able to go to a nightclub and make $1,500 hosting. You won't even be able to get in the parking lot. Because we will be there not letting you in. Because you're not going to push play on kill him, rape him, shoot him, and then go make your money. I hold you just as responsible. I hope my tape is rolling. I hope you're not shut my tape off. Keep the tape rolling. Let me tell you this. I read a book one time by Albert Speer. Albert Speer was the Reichsminister of Architecture for Hitler, Adolf Hitler. And he went to jail for 50 years, I believe it was, and he was one of the only inner court people of Adolf Hitler to not be killed. I think there might have been one more. He was one of the only ones he got life. He got a long sentence, but he didn't get killed. And he wrote a book. And people always ask him, "How did you do this? How could educated people, decent people with families, kill 6 million people?" And he said, "Let me tell you how we did it. We all justified our small part." And people said this: "I never killed anybody. I just build roads. I never killed anybody. I just build fences. I never killed anybody. I just built bricks for a gas chamber. I never gassed anybody. I just drove a train back and forth to the ghetto." And everybody said, "All I did." And I'm telling you, if you are on these stations and you're clicking play and say, "All I do," you are just as guilty as the person making the decision. We hold you just as responsible because, hey, this is my job. This is my job. That's so disgusting. This is my job. Quit. Tell them, I will never again press play on a song in which somebody talks about dealing drugs. You're a black man, I will never get a chance to play a song in which a black artist talks about how cool it is to have guns and how he's moving bricks. And so they say, "You're going to play it or you're going to be fired." Then turn around and sue them. And in court, tell them why you quit. Tell them why you refused to do it. And when you realize that you stood up because you were not going to be part of another song that portrayed people in a negative imagery, you'll be a hero. You'll be the first person with a conscience to stand up and say, because if the corporations won't do it, somebody's got to say, "I'm not going to do it." Let them fire you. And be surprised how many mothers, you know how many mothers I know of children who have been killed? Let me tell you who will back you. The mothers of these kids that have been shot down in the streets will say, "You know what? We're behind you. How am I going to defend myself in a court?" Say, watch them give you $3 and $5 and $10. Because if your daughter's been raped, you don't want to hear date rape. If you got animals, you don't want to hear animal killing. If your son's a homosexual, you don't want to hear homosexual bashing. And if your son's been gunned down in Jacksonville, you don't want to hear talking about, "I got choppers, I'll pull up on you." That is a sensitive subject, but apparently not by a big enough group to even register on the Richter scale. It's one person, one artist, we know L.A. Reid's got a conscience. That's the unauthorized version. Apologize for the authorized version, because more people are being dead in line with the authorized version than are being dead in line with the... Get a real conscience, not just what's going to cost you money. Now, there's a chance L.A. Reid may be a puppet. Sir, you may be as blind to it as us. But somebody at Sony, somebody went to Harvard, somebody's got a degree from MIT, somebody is very smart. They don't want their kids to be a part of it. They don't want their kids to sing it, but they will pay other people to be a part of it. That's who I'm holding accountable. If Mr. Reid tells me, "I didn't know, I have no idea what's going on. There's something wrong with slinging a bunch of narcotics. Could have fooled me. I must conclude, sir, that you are blind." I'm going further up the ladder till I find who holds the strings. Somebody holds those strings and is getting this information out. And if you don't have the power to stop it, I'm going to find who has the power to stop it. But it's gone on long enough. Well, stopping that music, that people will still be killed tomorrow, and they will. I don't know when the next young black guy's going to be killed. I have no idea. But I do know we can stop the next song that glories and revels in it happening. That we can stop. And as soon as it's no longer entertainment, the news will be shocking. And when you look at the news and say, "A guy got killed over his shoes, a guy got killed," who would kill somebody over their jersey? The second that becomes repulsive, then our communities will get serious about stopping this violence. But when it's in the news and on TV at the same time, nobody can tell the difference between what's right and what's wrong. We've got to start with the words and images and then get to the real issue of the mindsets that's shaping these young kids. And you hold the keys. You hold the keys. I don't hold the keys. Yes, you do. I don't. Well, they sing it. I'm not concerned about them. They're just dancing to the tune that you pay them for. And I know artists that when they went to meet with you, they played their songs and they said, "Yeah, but what you got a little rougher stuff. We need a little gangster stuff." And they said, "I'm not really a gangster. I work at Foot Locker." "Yeah, but that's what sells." I know you paid them to prostitute that image of a violent young black man. Blood is on your hands. Blood is on your hands. If you need prayer, come on. Father, I bless this congregation. Angels, minister to us and for us as we go. God, if we can't fix this, what can we do? If the animal lovers will speak out, and the women to you, Pastor Moore is going to minister to you. If you're coming down